Hey G-Squad, welcome back to the episode of Is It Worth It? So for today's episode, this poem is right here, and basically what this is a Santoku knife, and from the brand called Hast. So I actually reviewed another knife from this brand before, and this is their chef knife, and that one been working really well. Alright, so right here I have the knife. Let me show you guys how well it works. So let's say I just want to cut this right here. Alright, so you see how well it works, and I barely put any effort when I actually cut through it as well. But if I do use effort on here, let me show you guys how sharp it can be. Alright, and also if you guys want to thin cut stuff, you definitely can as well. Let me show you guys how thin it can be. Alright, so that's a little quick sample to show you guys how thin it can be when you guys use this knife right here, because it's actually really sharp. Because for all the knife, they use a high quality stainless steel that's called matrix powder steel, which actually help keep the knife sharp for a longer period of time, and also keep like that edge retention on there as well, and also make the knife really lightweight as well, which is pretty awesome. But I'm just gonna take out the wrapper here first to show you guys what the product looks like. Alright, so remove the wrapper here, you can see the brand logo right there. And you see on the side right here, they tell you guys what kind of knife we got right here as well. So we do got the 6-inch Santoku knife, and we got the titanium black. They do have other colors available as well, so you definitely want to do your own research to see which one you want. I prefer the black one because it definitely has that clean design on here. That actually looks really cool as well. And this is basically what the back part looks like. If you can see, they do mention how I should use a matrix powder steel on here, which is definitely higher quality than your typical stainless steel material. But let's actually open this up first to show you guys what the product looks like. So obviously when you guys take it out, you definitely want to be careful because it is really sharp. Alright, so when you guys first open up, this is basically what the product looks like inside. So they do price a piece of paper right here. And basically on this piece of paper right here, they tell you guys what other knife they actually have. So they have like a chef knife, Santoku knife, they have a bread knife, and some other knife available as well. If you guys turn it to the other side, basically on this side right here, they teach you guys how to maintain the product and how to use it, and also how to keep it clean as well. So basically every single time after you guys finish using the product, you definitely want to make sure you guys wash it and rinse it, and use like a towel to actually wipe it down, so that way you guys actually prolong the life of the product as well. Even though the product actually has a really strong like rust resistant on here, you definitely still want to actually follow the step in terms of how to actually maintain the product and clean it correctly, so that way you guys don't have to worry about damaging the product over time, and that way the knife actually lasts longer as well. But right here, if you can see, we do have the Santoku knife with a 6-inch. Let me actually take it out first. Alright, so when we take it out, you guys can see this is basically what the product looks like right here. Let me actually take out the wrapper first. Alright, so once we take it out, you guys can see that this is basically what the product looks like right here. So they do have the brand logo right here. And when you guys look at the knife right here, it definitely looks like a high quality knife. So this is the Santoku knife. Definitely shorter than the chef knife that they have available. So it definitely have like the matrix powder steel on here. And they do have an ergonomic grip on here as well. So when you guys grip it on here, it actually feels really nice. Let me actually remove the protection layer right here first. Alright, so once we take it out, you guys can see this is what it looks like right here. So it definitely looks really sharp. If you turn this way, you guys can see how sharp the knife is. If you see in the bottom right here, they do have a smooth transition as well, similar to the chef knife, but they don't have the round heel that the chef knife does have. But definitely it's really sharp when you guys look at the bottom part right here. In terms of the design of the knife right here, it is a bolsterless design as well. And when you guys look at the top part here, they definitely have a thin spine as well, which is pretty nice. So this is basically what the knife looks like on this side. If you flip it to the other side, this is what it looks like on this side right here. Definitely looks like a high quality knife on here. And when you guys feel the overall weight of the actual knife right here, it definitely feels super lightweight. So that way it actually makes it a lot easier for you guys to actually use the knife for like cutting stuff, slicing stuff, or whatever. And when you guys listen to the material that's on here, it definitely sounds like a high quality material in terms of the stainless steel or the matrix powder steel on here. But definitely overall, when you guys look at the sharpness of the knife right here, it's actually really sharp. So I'm actually going to test this out to show you guys how it works and how sharp it is first. And then we'll come back and talk more about it in a second. Alright, so we got an onion right here and we got my knife right here. Let me actually wash the knife first to make sure it's clean before we use it. And each time you guys finish using the knife, you definitely want to wipe it down first to make sure it's clean. So that way you guys don't have to worry about damaging the product or rusting the product over time. So I basically want to take off this part here first. Alright, so we just finished peeling the onion right here. Let's test it out to see how sharp it is. So right off the bat, when I actually feel the knife right here, it feels super lightweight. So that way it actually makes it a lot easier for you guys to use the knife for cutting stuff. But let's test it out. So I'll turn in this angle and see a little bit better. So for the first test right here, I will not use that much strength on here. Alright, so that was me barely using any strength on here. Let me do it one more time. So the knife itself is definitely pretty sharp, but now let me use some force and test it out again. Alright, so see when we use a little bit more force on here, it's actually much more efficient compared to when you guys don't use any force on here. But you definitely see how sharp the knife is on here. So if you guys want to use it for like chopping stuff or even slicing stuff, you definitely can. And because of how sharp the knife is, if you guys want to thin slice stuff, you definitely can as well. Alright, so you see how well it works. If you guys want to cut it even thinner, you definitely can. So you see the product definitely does work when you guys use it for like cutting stuff or slicing stuff or whatever. But this is basically what the product looks like when you guys use it. If you see, it works really, really well. So here is another test or another point of view of the product. Alright, so you can see it definitely works really, really well. Definitely really sharp, so it makes it a lot easier for you guys to cut stuff. And even if you guys want to dice stuff, you can definitely do that on here as well. Alright, so you can see how it works. Alright, welcome back guys. So now that I saw a quick test, I probably definitely see that actually does work. Actually works quite well. So whether you guys want to use it for like slicing stuff or cutting stuff or even for chopping stuff, you can definitely use it however you guys want to because it's really, really sharp. And you definitely have different options available on here as well. Like I mentioned, they do have like the chef knife. They do have this knife, which is a Santoku knife, which is a little bit shorter and easier to use than a chef knife. But they also have like a bread knife, a tuning knife, a paring knife, and the list goes on. I think for me, I'll probably use like a chef knife and also the Santoku knife the most because I use it a lot for like slicing stuff, chopping stuff, or whatever. But that is basically everything that's on the product. Now to go unboxing and testing the product. Now to answer the question of whether or not it's actually worth it or not. So for this product, I would definitely have to say that it is pretty worth it if you guys want one or need one of these. Especially if you guys are trying to look for a high quality Santoku knife or even like a chef knife that has like the matrix powder steel on here, where the knife is actually really sharp and actually keeps the sharpness for a longer period of time, and also has a really good like edge retention on the knife as well. And also if you guys are trying to look for a high quality knife where it's actually super lightweight, so it is easier for you guys to use it for like cutting stuff, prepping stuff or whatever at home, in the kitchen, or even for a restaurant, then this is definitely super worth it. But then obviously for those of you guys who don't want or don't need one or haven't one of these, then obviously don't buy one and save your money for something else actually they do need. So that's basically everything for this video itself. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button in the bottom. That will definitely help this video out, and it will definitely help with the algorithm as well to promote more videos for you guys so you guys can see more of the videos or similar videos as well. But as always, make sure to stay positive, be you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Is It Worth It? Peace.